Hey everybody, RaKk here, and welcome back to This Week in RaKk. I know I told you guys I was going to be recording this live down in California, but some things went down and it didn't quite work out. So, just got back home. Literally, I have been on the road for 24 hours. It was a really bad day. I've literally been driving for 24 hours straight. It was no bueno. Um, But yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna try to do this episode without dying on you guys. I hope it's entertaining and I hope it works. I see I still even got my sunglasses on my head. Um, so yeah, let's talk about the California edition of This Week in RaKk. So number one, I guess. Yeah, went down to check out exactly where it is I'm going to be moving, and I apologize when I say that I think this is going to turn into a bit of a RaKk rage because I'm moving because my daughter's mom is being transferred for work. And this allows me to stay close to my daughter without having to change our parenting plan and all this good stuff, being a divorced family. With that being said, I went to the place we're going to move, a place called Fresno, and I've got to say, I am not happy at all. I was there for about an hour before I was completely fed up with this goddamn town. Um, this is not the kind of place I want to take my fucking daughter to live. This is fucking ridiculous. I mean, seriously, we pulled up and decided to go to lunch, me, my brother, Thunderbuns, and our editor Ryan. And pulling up into In-N-Out Burger, there's a dude in the middle of the parking lot, won't let me through the park, trying to clean my car, which I know you run into this in California. I'm not new to this. But he had a needle hanging out of his arm. What the fuck is that kind of shit all about? This is not the place I want to raise my fucking kid. This is like the worst slums of the worst cities in Washington rolled into one. It is fucking garbage. It's gonna be a miserable 2 years living here. Uh, I'm not happy about it at all. That part of the trip really just. I thought the whole trip was doomed. I just left town and did not go back to Fresno. I did not talk to anybody about places to live when I was there. I was just fed up. So now it looks like I'm going to have to do it over the phone because unfortunately it's the closest place I can move to be close enough to my daughter to work the schedule we have to work. I'm not going to rage too much longer on this. I do want to get into some other things. So after the first part of the day one where survived the crap hole that is Fresno, California, we decided to kind of switch things up and hit a high note. So we decided we were going to go check out a place that me and my brother had both been when we were younger, a place that we thoroughly enjoyed as kids and thought it was just the greatest place on earth. No, we're not talking about Disneyland. And we decided to go down there just to see if it was as cool as we remembered or if it was, kind of not what we remembered at all and kind of like the place we had just visited that I really want to burn to the fucking ground, the entire fucking city. It's garbage. I hate it. It's terrible. Anyway, so we decided to go down to Santa Cruz and we had a good time. It was an amazing time. We ended up camping down there for a night. We went and hit the boardwalk. We took our editor Ryan on his very first big time roller coaster, and that was pretty fun. We kicked it at the beach. We walked across the bridge there at the boardwalk. We took some pictures. We took some videos. We're working on getting that put together and sent out to you guys. That's going to take about a week or two. We got a lot of editing to do. But anyways, after spending a good 4 or 5 hours just walking around the boardwalk, playing video games and everything like that, just having a good time, hanging out as friends, because this is our last big hurrah before I move here in a couple months, and we're just not sure, what we're going to be able to do. So, anyways, after that, we decided we were gonna go head downtown, and we did that. We walked around downtown for a good 3-4 hours. We checked out a couple of shops, Serpent's Kiss being one of them, because a buddy of mine's girlfriend's really into that crystal stuff and whatnot. So we went and checked that out. We had a good time. We did a lot of talking. I met a spastic little hippie chick named Peach who wanted me to join up with Greenpeace to save the polar bears, and yeah, she was kind of creepy. Very cute but creepy, and I just couldn't do it. So I told her I worked too much with the reptile conservation, and we left it at that and kind of booked it on out of there. But we did. We kind of kicked it around town, bummed it around for a while. Met some interesting people, hung out, just had fun. All in all, that was a pretty good day and a half really that we did that, because we did that in the second we did that the second half of the first day, and then we camped out. The second day we just headed straight out. We walked along the beach, checking stuff out, taking pictures and videos of that, just kind of having fun, talking, working out new things that are going to be happening with the channel, kind of having some work party while we did it. A lot of good food, places to eat that were pretty good. I'm not going to be dropping names or anything like that, because this is just a little vlog of me talking shit. I'm sorry I'm rambling and not making much sense. I am literally so freaking exhausted right now. To give you guys an idea of exactly how bad this is, I woke up yesterday at 9 o'clock in the morning. I have not been to sleep yet. It is now 10:30 at night. So I've been awake for over 24 hours. Yeah, and literally, I just drove home. We left last night at. So yeah, we left last night. Wow, I'm really out of this. I'm so exhausted. We left last night at about 8:30 p.m. and we literally just pulled up here, and it's like seriously like 10:30. So well over 24 hours driving straight through. The traffic was terrible. The GPS didn't want to work. We took a whole different way to get down there than we did coming back up. So we didn't know where we were going. We were completely lost. But we had fun, doing it. It just took an extremely long time. And then going through Oregon was kind of a pain in the butt with things not working out correctly and issues with my Jeep. The air filter got clogged up, and amazingly enough, I forgot my tools at home. So anytime my Jeep had to climb an incline on the road, it started bogging out and choking itself to death, and we were really wondering if we were going to be able to make it back. But just got that fixed and decided I was going to come record this. So anyway, moving right along. It's not all fun and games. You guys work together and you're friends together for so long, and you spend so much time together. Things eventually blow up, and it did today between me and Thunderbuns. So I'm going to give you just a little rough idea of what happened. I'm not going to go into detail. That's between me and him, but this is a vlog about my life and the things that happened. So we are going to discuss this, and I think I bring some interesting things to the table, especially if if you run a channel, or if you're planning on running a channel and you work with someone else, especially someone who's either friend or family. So certain requirements were to be met for going on this trip. Because my monetization, my money situation was a little tight with some things I had to take care of at the beginning of the month, but we still wanted to take the trip, so everybody needed to bring a certain amount to take care of certain things, and certain promises were made and not owned up to, and that caused a lot of problems during the trip involving certain situations. Now, how I handled this was probably not the best. I was overly exhausted because I still have not been to sleep since yesterday morning. And yeah, so it's well over 24 hours now. It's more like a day and a half that I have not slept, and then 24 hours that I literally was spent driving, angry, and exhausted, and half passing out, which I don't suggest you do. It's a terrible idea. But we were really in a rush to get back here for certain reasons, me getting my daughter in the morning, and certain people having to catch the ferry back home, and certain people had to work and stuff like that. So I was very exhausted. I was very stressed from the drive, from having to drive for so long, and I was very angry. And we all know how I get when I'm angry. You've seen my videos. You've seen me lose my cool. And I basically turned on Thunderbuns tonight and almost hit him because I was just that fed up with the situation. And I cussed him out. I screamed. I yelled. I was up in his face. And I made him feel like utter shit for the things he let me down on. Now, normally I would not act in this manner, but it was a long, stressful trip. Everything going wrong. Seeing the kind of environment that I'm having to move to, and I'm having to put my daughter into, and it was not a good time, as I'm thinking about this all on the way home. Anyway, but I chose not to do this in front of the rest of the guys. I waited till they were all gone, and literally this just happened, a little while ago. Now, how I handled that was definitely wrong. I should have been a little more subtle about it. Should have done a little more talking, but at the same time, I think something good did come out of this. I believe that he understands now how important it is for communication, how important it is when you make that promise that you own up to that promise. Integrity is a major part of my life. If I tell you I'm going to do something, it gets done. And I expect the same in return from anybody who's making promises to me. That's how you work. If your word is garbage, your name is garbage, and those are the two things you have in this life that are worth a damn. Money and possessions don't mean nothing. It just doesn't. But your name is everything. But if you can't trust somebody's word, then their name means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. So, I mean, I handled it the wrong way, but a good thing did come out of it. The point got across. It got across without becoming a physical fight, which I'm thankful for. I would have felt really bad if it would have exploded to that point. But these are things that happen when you work with somebody really close and you're around each other all the time. Mistakes get made, people get stressed, you get angry, you say stupid things, you blow up. So, whether it be friend or family or significant other or anything like that, when you work in such a close proximity and you're always around each other, the stress levels rise and things blow up. Now, how I should have handled this, I definitely should have just, sat him down, explained how I was feeling and all that good stuff. But we know how real life works. You don't think in the heat of the moment. Now, as how this affects the team, because this was a pretty big blowout. I mean, I'm even now recording this, I'm still angry about all these things, and there's an extensive list. But I never want this kind of thing to come in between the channel. You gotta be able to say your piece, offend them, move on. So I've done that. I've moved on. He understands. And if anything, it's gonna make the channel stronger because he now knows exactly where I stand with no confusion. But it was pretty bad. I really thought it was going to turn into a fist fight, and I'm glad it didn't. But it's now 14 and a half minutes into this video, and I've been talking about almost beating up my partner, and I feel terrible about that. I love Thunderbuns to death. He's my buddy, he's my best friend, he's my brother, you know, and that will always be the case. And something like this will never break up the channel, and it never should, especially, you know, and keep these words for yourself too. Um, Chalk it up as a, you know, as a mistake. Chalk it up as, you know, a stupid situation that shouldn't have happened. Shake hands, call it a day, and let it go. Which is what we've done tonight. Like I said, you know, we're still fresh coming off of it, so, you know, the adrenaline's still pumping and everything like that. But tomorrow morning we're gonna be good. We've already we've hashed it out. We're all good. We both understand, and we're happy about it. So, with that being said, like I said, I want to talk about something positive on every one of these vlogs, so that way I'm not leaving on a bad note. I don't like to end a day bad. I don't like to, you know, be left with those negative feelings, and this is something that I really like doing in these videos, is showcasing something brilliant from this week, you know, that just makes it all worthwhile. And I'm going to say this because it honestly was, I think, the best thing about our entire trip to California, aside from all the filming that we've done and all the pictures we took and all the sights we saw and all the things we did and the rides and the food and all of that stuff. The coolest part of this entire trip was our first night when we went down to Santa Cruz and we met up with Melissa from Cocktails and Consoles, and we sat, we had dinner, we had drinks, we talked, we bullshitted, we laughed, we got to know each other. We all headed down to the beach, we smoked cigars around the fire, and it was just a really great time. She's an awesome person. We had a blast. Yeah, it was just really fun. So yes, the highlight of my trip was dinner and cigars with Melissa. You were great. It was awesome. I can't wait to do it again. You know, hang out more once I get moved down there. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, with that, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna fall into a coma and probably never wake up. No, I'm just kidding, but I am dog-ass tired. I still have to drive an hour home. Yeah, I drove all the way out here to record this, and then I have to drive an hour back and then go to bed. So, thank you guys for joining me. If you like this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and, of course, see you in the next video, and game on, bitches.